Hey, friends, I want to talk to you about this funny idea of making the right decision. And maybe that hasn't been described to you as a funny idea very often. But the reason I'm describing it as funny is I think so many new coaches, so many new entrepreneurs, so many people in general really stress out about making the right decision. They want to make the right decision about their mission statement. They want to make the right decision about their target audience. They want to make the right decision about their offer. They want to make the right decision about their price point. They want to make the right decision about what coach to hire. They want to make the right decision about what next action to step or action or step to take. They want to make the right decision on what to talk about, the right decision on what social media platform to market on, the right decision on what to call their podcast, the right decision on all of the different things that we do in our business. And we get so stressed out about making the right decision that it calls a lot of people into complete indecision. It calls a lot of people into inaction. It paralyzes a lot of people because they want to make the right decision so badly. And it's from this good place because they care that instead they make no decision at all. And that is the biggest problem for most entrepreneurs, for most coaches, is a passivity caused by the desire to be right and to make the right, perfect decision. And wanting to make the right decision, if it causes us to make no decision, is the very worst thing to want to be right about. And I heard an interesting concept at a conference I recently attended. I can't remember exactly who shared it, but somebody said, stop trying to make the right decision and start trying to make your decision right. I'm going to say that one more time. The idea was to stop trying so hard to make the right decision and start trying really hard to make your decision right. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should let go of making a good decision altogether. That's not what we're talking about here. But if we're stuck, if we're having a hard time choosing, one of the best things we could do is simply choose. It's to make a decision. This or this or this, and not consider every single option and not get tied up in whether or not it's the perfect decision or the absolute right decision or better than every other possibility, but simply to make a decision and to move forward in action and then be committed enough to making sure that we make our decision right. What that looks like is if you decide to pursue a certain social media platform, and you're like, okay, I want to do some marketing on social media. I have a lot of people who stress out about what's the most appropriate social media site for me to market on. Should I be on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube? What's the best social media platform for me to be on? And the truth is, like, if you were going to focus on one, which is a great idea for a lot of new coaches, is to focus on one primary platform, maybe two, and go all in there. It doesn't actually matter which one you choose. If you want any of them to be right, like, you could find all kinds of evidence online to tell you every single reason why a certain platform is the wrong social media platform. And you could find evidence to suggest that each of the platforms is the perfect platform. There are always going to be people who think one is better than the other, and that's because it's the one that works for them or the one that they've worked on. But rather than stressing yourself out or spending too much time on that decision of where you should be socially, why don't you just choose the one that feels best for you and then make that decision right? So if you decide that you're going to engage in Facebook for marketing, then give your best and learn and master Facebook and make that the right decision. Make that a profitable decision. If you instead chose Instagram, do the same thing. If you instead chose YouTube, do the same thing. If you instead chose LinkedIn, do the same thing. If you're on TikTok or Clubhouse, like, just go all in on whichever one feels right. Trust your gut instinct. Take action on that. And then be committed to making that decision right for you, making sure that you get the best out of that social media platform and out of that decision that you made. If you decide to work with a certain audience and pursue a certain niche in your coaching business, make that the right decision by giving your very best to understand that audience, to serve that audience, to go all in with them. Now, this doesn't mean that we can't pivot later or recognize that a decision we made wasn't ideal or that there is a better opportunity. I'm not saying that at all. But too often we get so caught up in the next decision or the decision right in front of us that we just stick in decision making mode all of the time, which limits us from getting into action making mode and income making mode. And so I want to encourage you to move away from decision, make a decision, and then focus on making that decision right. Commit to the necessary actions to get the best possible result from that decision and give it a real chance before considering an alternative. And in the future, sure, when the time is right, be willing to pivot, be willing to make a mistake, to change your mind, to go in a different direction. But for now, make a decision and make it right. This is an oversimplification of some issues, and I understand that. But in most cases, the thing that you need to do is not to make the most perfect decision, not to consider every single option and make sure that you're making the most right decision. It's simply to make a decision. And if you've been stuck at the starting line, if you've been stuck where you are, if you've been in indecision and you've allowed this to paralyze you, you've allowed yourself to become really passive, then now's your calling. This is your moment to say, yes, I'm going to make a decision on this thing I've been stuck on, and I'm just going to start going in that direction. And then I'll get more feedback from God. I'll get more feedback from my experience, and I'll learn and I'll grow and I'll become better. And the other reminder is to allow yourself to be imperfect. To allow yourself to be imperfect. My first coach, Hal Elrod, used to say, give up the need to be perfect for the opportunity to be authentic. Simply be authentic. Get in the game. Make a decision. And then make the best of the decision that you make. That's how we can live life. It's a lot freer. It's a lot easier. It's going to produce tremendously more results. And it's going to be a great way for you to learn and grow as you move forward. I hope this is helpful. I hope it's encouraging. I heard this idea and it just landed for me. Stop trying to make the right decision. Start trying to make your decision right. Let's be in action, friends. God bless you. Have an amazing week. I'll talk to you more soon.